In this episode, I'm going to do some maintenance on my tankless water heater I have here. Stay tuned, tell you what it is, how to get one, and about these valves right here, and how easy it is to just disassemble, take down, and do maintenance. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Pine Meadows Hobby Farm. I'm your host, Jerry Hansen. I have here behind me a Bosch Therm 520 HN LP Tankless water heater. We've had it installed for 10 years now. Well, that's how long we've been in this house, and it's been functioning fine up until the past 6 to 8 months when we turn the hot water on. It doesn't light, and we know we have plenty of propane, but my suspicion is it's full of bugs and dust. Yes. Heat will draw bugs, insects, and they die when the water heater comes on, and their little corpses pile in on there is what I'm suspecting. So we'll see once we get this taken apart, and we're going to take it out on the back porch and do it. What I have installed here under the water heater is, it's called the Rheem RTG 20220AB Webstone Tankless Service Valve Kit. Yeah, that's what this is. And if you notice, each valve kit has a union I purchased to attach to the water heater, including the propane service that has a union. So I just have to disconnect those 3 unions and lift it out. I'll show you in a second, but I also wanted to point out I have the pipe. I opted for the through-the-roof pipe because the gas and heat will escape up through the top, and the fumes will escape up through the top. You can have this powered where it vents through a sidewall, but it has to be a powered vent. Since we're opting for an off-grid application, we don't have to want to rely on electricity. So you may be wondering how this thing lights if we're not on, it doesn't use electricity. Well, the cold water comes in through here, goes up, and spins a little turbine. And that turbine generates a little spark, which sparks the burner up here, which heats the water. That's how it works. And as long as you have propane and as long as you have water feed, you're going to have hot water. You're not going to run out. So the first thing I want to do in disassembling it and taking it out is shut off the valves. I'm going to turn off my propane valve, the gas line. I'm going to turn off my hot and cold water valves, and then I'm going to loosen all 3 of these unions and disconnect it from the water heater. Now once the unions are disconnected from the water heater, I'm going to go ahead and go up top and loosen and push away the vent pipe on the top, and now the water heater is just hanging on the wall. It's really easy just to lift off the wall. It's fairly light. It weighs about 15-20 pounds, so it's a very light appliance. So once I take it out, we're going to go ahead and go onto the back porch, and I'm going to inspect the inside. As you can see, the tools I'm using are just a couple of wrenches. Now I need an air compressor to blow the dust and bugs out of there. I'm not going to use pressure wash. I don't want to damage any of the electronic components. No. So I'm just going to use compressed air from this little compressor I've got. So we got it out here. I'm going to remove the cover. The cover is removable by first taking this bottom plate off. And it's just removed by 2 screws on each side. Then underneath, once you get that removed, underneath, back inside, you've got 2 Phillips screws. You just loosen those, pull, and don't forget, take your knobs off. You got 2 knobs here, you just pull those off, set them aside. Then you pull your cover up and away. It just clips on the top. You don't have to worry about any more screws. It's just 4 screws to undo. So once I got it on there, I'm going to turn it upside down. Oh look, it is full of debris. I can see it right now, and bugs. So we're going to go ahead and take the compressor and blow as much out of there as we can. Boy, look at that dust flying. Yes, that was one of my other suspicions, is it was packed full of dust. And that will compromise your burner igniter area too if it gets too loaded with dust and debris, mainly bugs. So let's go ahead and just give it some air and blow all that debris out of there. Even on the fins, you can see down inside where there's bugs even on top of that. We're going to go ahead and blow those out. Turn it right side up again and blow that debris out. And upside down again. Make sure we get as much blown out of there as we can and do a visual inspection and make sure there's no obstruction of the burners or the fins which heat the water. Now I'm just going to lay it down and reattach the shield cover over the top of it. Again, you just screw in those two Phillips screws. And these have these little hooks on the top, so that's how you slide it on. That's how it's attached to the top. So once you get it screwed in, you attach the bottom dust shield. And then don't forget to place your plugs. They only go in one way. You look at the bottom of the plug and there is a little pattern in there. You match the pattern to the little switch down inside. So now we got it reassembled. Let's go ahead, take it in and put it back together in reverse order of how we took it apart. Now we got it all assembled, the valves are on, there is no leaks. We can go ahead and give it a test. We'll turn the hot water on and the pilot lights inside. And let's check out the water in the kitchen. And yes, we have hot water. So I'll leave links down below that I purchased this Bosch 520 HN LP Tankless water heater. I got it from houseneeds.com. They have a wonderful selection of tankless water heaters. Check the website out. This is a 10-year-old unit, so I doubt they even have this model available now. But shop around for what suits you best. Also, for the Rheem, R-H-E-E-M, RTG20220AB Webstone Tankless Service Valve Kit. And of course, the 6 feet of 5-inch diameter B-Vent stovepipe. Those are what I purchased to make this thing happen. We installed this when we installed the house. We installed the house with the permits to hook up all the plumbing, all the electricity, all the gas, all the sewers, so that was handy dandy. So when I decided to install the water heater, I installed it here next to the washer and dryer because the dryer is propane and we got a propane connection right there. It tees it off, so that makes it convenient to have one outlet for propane, just tee it off and then service the water heater also. And it also supplies hot water to the utility sink, and on the other side of this wall is the master bath shower. So we get hot water delivery almost instantly. It doesn't have to go through miles of pipes through the house just to get hot water. So it makes it real convenient. I also want to point out I did mount it over the top of my utility sink, and there's a reason for that. My insurance company is going to love me for this, because if this thing should ever leak, it's not going to do any damage to the structure of the house. It's all going to go down inside the utility sink. So I think that is the best thoughtful plan of installing one of these units. Now, a little disclaimer, I'm not an electrician, I'm not a plumber, I'm not a gas professional, I am a home owner DIYer, which gives me the ability to do a lot of things for myself. I do inquire, since this doesn't use electricity, I didn't have to use the electrical stuff. It's just the gas line that had to be tested and certified, and then of course the water plumbing. My neighbor across the street is my plumber. It's been really advantageous to have friends within close proximity. Anyway, check out what works best for you. And this does require maintenance. It's been 10 years since I've run maintenance on it. I had to do this, 10 years. I do about once every 3 to 5 years, depending on the hardness of the water you have in your system. We are on a well, a little bit hard water, which means calcium can build up in the pipes, especially when it's heat. So I can run a vinegar solution through a pump set in the sink. The pump will flush it, and that's what these extra little valve features are for, is that's what you plug your pump. I did a video on that. Check out that video. I'll leave a link to it at the end of this show so you can see how I flush it and get rid of the calcification and the buildup that's in there. So I'm Jerry Hansen, your host. This is Pine Meadows Hobby Farm. We're a frugal homestead tucked high in the Cascade Ranges of the Pacific Northwest, doing some home maintenance on the Bosch tankless water heater. Please stay tuned to more videos. You can do that by subscribing and clicking that bell icon. That alerts you to new videos as I upload them. Give us a thumbs up, click that share button. Sharing my videos on your social media platforms really helps out the channel greatly. Remember, be safe, always be kind. We'll see you guys in my next adventure. Bye-bye now.